Body Shop Physical Therapy. I'm Dr. Catherine Price, and today I'm going to share with you trigger point release of the trapezius muscle. The trapezius muscle is commonly found to be a culprit when there is chronic or acute neck pain. There are three different branches to the trapezius muscle. The upper trap, which is the one that usually causes the most problems, which is found on the upper part of the shoulder, the side of the neck, the middle trap inside the shoulder blade, and then the lower trap connecting down to the lower part of the thoracic spine. So the proximal site of the trapezius is going to be the external occipital protuberance, which is going to be the back side of the skull, and it's also going to attach to the cervical vertebrae, and then it's going to insert into the lateral third of your clavicle, so on that outside of the shoulder, the spine of the scapula, and then the origin is going to go all the way down to T12. So it looks like a diamond-shaped muscle in the back side of the body. And the biggest problem is in the upper trapezius, where we shallow breathe, we stay in stressful situations, and we keep our shoulders up towards our ear. So the upper portion is usually overcontracted. And then if their shoulders are rounded and the shoulders are falling forward, then the lower portion can end up developing trigger points from an overstretched position. So you can have trigger points when the muscle is shortened, and then they can develop when there is stress from an overstretching. So it's important to keep the muscle tendon balance in order to alleviate or prevent trigger points. And it's not uncommon to find these trigger points. So neck pain that is going to be on the side of the neck, that is where it's going down to the upper part of the shoulder. You can have from the upper trap, it can refer pain to on the side of the head, the side of the neck, and even close into the jaw from the upper portion. But then there can be some pain that goes to on kind of the back portion of the lower part of the neck out into the shoulder. So that is where the pain is located. To release the upper trapezius muscle, I like to use a theracane. I will go right on top of the shoulder. So if I'm going to go right to, if you shrug your shoulder up and you see that muscle popping up, that's going to be the upper trapezius. I'll take the theracane and I'll just put pressure down, and then I'll push forward, and I want to keep the arm that is going to be released, I'm going to keep that one relaxed. So I'm going to push down with my opposite arm and push forward, and that's going to apply pressure. As you press into that muscle, you may feel the tenderness, and it may even refer pain to other areas of that I just described. And you can hold that until the pain lessens or goes away. And then you can find another portion along that muscle group. So on the upper portion of the shoulder, side of the neck, and there are different trigger points, and the upper portion has three different areas and locations, and you want to just explore those areas to find out where you have most of your tension, pushing down with the opposite hand and then forward. And then to actively release, I will take my head and bend opposite direction to put the muscle on a little stretch while I'm applying pressure. And just repeat that for about 10 repetitions, and moving to another point, placing pressure and going through and continuing to release those trigger points. You can hold for about 20 seconds over each area and work on the muscle and fascia for up to 2 minutes and even into 10 minutes. These muscles and fascia can be contracted, and it takes a long time to reduce that tension, and depending on how chronic the problem is, it depends on how long it takes to reduce it. And you may have to work days and weeks to alleviate chronic tension that has been there. And if you are using and overcontracting these muscles during the day, then at the end of the day, it's a good time to spend. It's a good time to spend using to undo and release those areas that have been working. So I'm just applying pressure and then going through that movement. This is relieving the trigger points in my upper trapezius muscle. After I address the upper trapezius, I can take two tennis balls and put them in a sock, or I'm going to use these double lacrosse balls, a double massage ball, and I want to then start right at the T1. So if you find that big bony prominence that sticks out, your C7, it's going to be right between your shoulder blades. I'm going to start there, and then I'm going to roll, staying between my shoulder blades, all the way down the spine on that area. So I'm placing the peanut balls. I'm going to lie onto my back, and then I'm going to apply pressure. And this can be really intense and unbearable to start with because these areas can have a lot of trigger points. And if that is, you can just start by putting pressure and then relaxing down and holding until your body can tolerate the pressure on those areas. Now, not everyone is going to be able to get on the floor or apply body weight to those areas. So what you can do is you can take your double lacrosse balls or your 2 tennis balls and go up to a wall. I'm going to place them right the same area between my shoulder blades, and you can either start down low. So if I start lower on the spine, I'm going to place them just below my shoulder blades, but staying on the back side of the rib cage, and I can just put my body weight into the wall and mobilize this way. And then I can do the upper portion. Sometimes just placement is going to be your challenge. And so if I find the place between the upper part of my shoulder blades, I want to place them there. And then I'm just going to roll an inch up and an inch down and slowly work the ball down towards the lower part of the shoulder blades. And you want to stay anywhere in the area along the spine down to the attachment at T12, which is going to be on still the back side where the ribs are. So you don't want to go off of the ribs. And that will cover the area of the trapezius muscle. And again, this muscle is one of the biggest culprits to neck pain, and addressing those trigger points can be quite effective and helpful if you are suffering from chronic neck pain or acute neck pain. It is good to manage this as you go so that it doesn't become problematic and later on. And by managing this, you'll keep the joints in a better healthy position, and also these releases will allow for the head to be better positioned over the neck, which can then improve posture and decrease the wearing of the joint. So I hope this will have helped, and have a blessed day. Thank you.